professor from Princeton. It was
Yeah.
Princeton. Because I was like, oh, New Jersey. That's where I'm from. So it was Princeton.
Princeton.
And they were talking about religion and how even if God is or isn't real, just believing in him
Yeah.
makes us have a better life. Because if we
does.
believe someone's watching over us,
Yeah.
which is a weird thought to have,
Weird.
then you're going to act morally and you're going to have a better life. Like philosophers in the past, they all say you need to act virtuously
Yeah.
to have a good life.
Uh-huh.
And I do think that's true. I think if you act well and you do good things, or
Yeah.
I guess objectively good things,
Objectively good things.
you're going to have a better life.
I totally agree. And I really think, like, that's why, I mean, religion's so complicated and there's so much conflict because of religion. But there's statistics that show that no matter what religion you believe, if you believe in something, some kind of higher power, whether it's like in a very spiritual, vibey sense, or like very like, these are the strict rules you have to follow or you're going to hell, you are a happier person. There's like statistics about it, just like feeling faith in any sense makes you happier. And you know what? You don't have to believe in shit. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I'm just gonna believe for now because it makes me feel better when bad things happen.
Yeah.
But like just the other day, this is just like a super small thing that I did that made me feel good. But there was a girl in front of me in core, and she like got tacos, and you can't use a meal swipe for tacos or something. Fuck the rules.
Yeah.
But they were like, yeah, like you have to use your super card. She's like, oh, I don't have any money on my super card. 1 sec, let me add funds. And then she's like, she can go. And there's a really long line.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, I have so many fucking meal swipes.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I pay for hers? And she was like, thank you. And I like paid for hers and I paid for mine. And I was like, oh,
That's so nice.
I did a good thing. I'm like, it made me feel good. And you know what? Doing good things for selfish reasons doesn't take away from the fact that it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that is true.
You can do good things for selfish reasons.
I don't know if I really believe in altruism, which is just like doing good for the sake of good.
Yeah.
Because there's always a selfish purpose behind everything. Like even, like I used to go to Kentucky for like service trips.
Yeah.
Even that, it was like I'd go, but it would make me feel good for going.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like that's okay.
It feels like it shouldn't be though.
It feels like it shouldn't be, but so in policy studies, the very basic course you take is PST 101 with Professor Copeland. Shout out him. But he's a really cool guy. Super old. Love him. Nice. He's just like been doing this for years upon years. He says he's going to die on Maxwell's stage. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But he talks a lot about the balance of like doing good and doing well. And so he's very blunt. And so he'll just ask you like, well, what do you want to do? Do good or do well? And everyone says do good. But a lot of people want to do well. And it's okay to say, oh, both, or I want to do well.
What is the difference?
Well, doing good is like, doing good for the people.
Yeah.
Making a difference in the world. Taking your knowledge.
Vroom.
Taking your knowledge and, making a change with it. Doing well, it's like, shit, I want to be successful. Like, and you know what? You can do both. I really think you can. And like a lot of what he talks about is you can do good for selfish reasons. If you make change because it makes you feel good or because it's the change that you want to see in the world, that's fine. I mean, it's kind of the result that matters.
Yeah, and I feel like doing well helps you do good. Because if you have money, you could do a lot more than if you don't.
And if you can do both, then like, if you're doing it kind of in tandem with each other, then you're not going to stop doing it one day. You're just going to keep doing it.
That would be fantastic.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
It would. Best of both worlds, like Hannah Montana said.
Oh.
Another great artist.
She's great. She's fantastic. Yeah. I miss Hannah.
Hannah.
Where'd she go? I haven't seen her in so long.
Haven't seen her in a hot minute.
Yeah.
Miley came out and we've never looked back.
I hope Hannah's doing okay.
Me too. But
back to your core life. I also I think that doing good, it made you feel good, but it also probably made her feel good. And that's probably going to make her do good also.
Exactly,
it spreads. It's contagious.
Yeah.
When you see someone doing, like Dresden, I don't know, you know Dresden.
Yeah.
He cleans the entire house by himself, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, and you've seen this house. It's terrifying. Oh, yeah. But he literally mopped the third floor, the second floor, the common
Wow.
room, the basement.
Wow.
And it inspires people to be like, fuck, I'm going to help out. And then
Yeah.
our bathroom was a trash pile, literally a trash pile.
A trash pile.
And then
A
people
shithole.
went in. Yeah. Yeah. It is a shithole. It's disgusting. There's only a point early first semester where there's in the second floor, I don't know if you saw it, of just a pile of trash. Hey, Triolo.
Everyone
Can you shut the
opened-
door? Thank you. Where there was a pile of trash.
Yeah.
And people just puked and just
Yum.
pissed on it.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it inspired it inspired. It's so gross. Like, I live in this.
I know. And I'm like a neat freak.
Yeah.
But like I come here and it's just like blinders. I'm just like, I don't live here.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. But,
Fair.
like,
I do the
so-
same. I'm like, I live in my room. Everything
Yeah.
else is just a common space.
Yeah.
But the day he did all that, everyone on the third floor and second floor cleaned up their bathrooms.
Yeah.
They shoveled it and they put it away. Even though it's a small thing,
Yeah.
it still inspires people to do good.
Right.
And then once you get the practice of doing little good things, like you were saying at the beginning, they
Yeah.
add up and then you can do more.
Exactly.
And then you
People
can inspire
realize that
more.
like it's not hard to not piss on the floor.
Yeah. It's really easy.
it's
It's really easy.
it's really easy to not throw your good uncle down the hallway.
Yeah. Very easy.
Like tortellini on the wall, we don't need it.
Pie everywhere. There's so much pie.
Really?
Like, oh, if you look in the basement, the entire wall is covered in pie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't really notice it because it's so foul. But it's the same way good inspires good. You said it at the beginning, like misery finds misery.
Yeah.
Bad inspires bad. If you
Yeah.
see someone hucking a loogie on the ground, you're like, oh, this
Fucking
is
I'll do it too.
like, if they're doing it, I might as well too.
Yeah.
And that's my philosophy teacher was saying, we need hope. Because I was saying, I used the metaphor, not even a metaphor, it was a true thing. Our garbage cans didn't have garbage bag in
trash
them,
bags.
trash bags in
Yeah.
them. And there's so much trash in it. And I'm like, fuck it. There's so much trash, I might as well throw mine in. And because it's easy for me and it's already there, so who the fuck cares? And
Yeah.
she's like, well, if you think like that, you give up hope that there can be change.
Right.
So without that hope, like, even if they're all doing it, maybe, just maybe, by me throwing it out,
Yeah.
it will start to make a change.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think hope is necessary for, I wrote it down in my notes. I'm going to get it up because it wasn't in this notes. Shucks.
it.
I have a big thing of notes in my
Yeah,
phone.
I love
I
that.
just write stuff.
Me too. My phone notes, it's like that shit's long.
Yeah.
There's so many things in there.
It's great. It's a great way
Yeah.
to think. But hope, hope,
It's necessary.
it is.
It
I forgot.
is.
It was a nice way of saying it, but I forgot it. But it is necessary.
Yeah.
You're right. We need it.
I think people too have to realize that like doing good things doesn't have to be hard.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do monumental good things that are going to end up in the newspaper. Like doing small acts of kindness, not only does it make you a happier person, but obviously it benefits the people that you're aiming to, do kind acts to. Like it's one of those things that people talk about it and they brush it off like, yeah, 10 acts of kindness, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. But it seriously changes your life.
No, it does.
It changes your life. And I remember, I forget why. Oh, I remember why. I was going to say, I forget why this happened. I worked my first job ever. I was 15, which the legal age to work in Massachusetts is 16. Hi, Fairview Estates.
Yes. Call them out.
Hated working there. So it was a retirement home. And, people get old. Brain starts to go.
It does.
So does the judgment
Yeah.
and other things.
Yeah.
But working there was fucking awful. I had to dress up in basically like a bellhop costume. It's not an outfit, it's a straight up costume.
Yeah.
I had black slacks on.
Ooh, stylish.
They were like, they can't be tight. And I'm like,
Okay.
all right. Non-slip black shoes, a button down white shirt and a bow tie. And my hair to be in a
What?
bun.
I sound like a
awful.
monkey.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
looked like the server from the Beauty and the Beast, and it was
Yeah.
really bad. But so we would walk out and we'd serve the elderly residents, and you would have to ask them like what they wanted, and you weren't allowed to like write it down. It's just like no. And a lot of times, old people would order something that wasn't on the menu. That was a
Yeah.
whole debacle. But then they'd order something, you'd bring it out to them, and they'd be like, "This isn't what I ordered." And it's like, whose memory are we gonna trust here? Yours or mine?
What'd you do in this?
So I would just like be like, okay, whatever. But there were some people that were so happy just to talk.
Yeah.
Like just asking someone how their day was. It was like they hadn't been asked that. And there's people that, didn't have family to come visit them. They didn't have visitors. And you would notice some people would be off with their family doing something and they wouldn't be at dinner. But then there would be those same 4, 5, 6 people that were always there, sitting alone or sitting with one other person, not talking, and like asking them how their day was literally lit up a smile on their face. And obviously that makes you feel good because it's not hard to just care about other people, even if they're strangers. And I just remember I hated working there. I would leave having worked 2 hours, working my ass off, being covered in food, and I would get a paycheck for like $17. And I was like, I hate this.
Yeah.
But I learned so many valuable lessons from working there. And just one of the biggest things I took away was like caring about people just to care about them changes their lives, and it also changes your life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Those old people must have got that, like, that made you smile. Like, that's so nice. It's so sad.
It's so sad because it's like, who knew that something so small can make someone so happy and make their day? And it's sad that, like, that's what makes them happy. But it just goes to show that, like, it's not hard.
Yeah, it's really not. And even, like, I was a DoorDasher over, like, during when COVID first started.
Yeah.
And I was having such a shitty day. I don't remember why. And I go to this Five Guys, pick up something, bring it to someone, come back for another order. And the guy's like, yo, you want some fries? I'm like, I'm trying to eat healthy, but yeah, I love
will take
fries.
these free fries.
And it literally turned my entire day around because it showed me, yes, there's really good in this world. People care.
Yes.
And they're trying to do good things. Like, I didn't eat the fucking fries. But still, it made my day. And that's how easy it could be. Like, my dad always talks to strangers.
Yeah.
And smiles and holds a door open. He's like, small acts could literally change someone's life.
Yeah.
And he always uses, I don't know if you heard the story of this guy who's so depressed, and I don't know if it's a real story or not, but he's so depressed and down on his luck. He writes a note. He's like, I'm going to jump off the Golden State Bridge unless someone looks at me or says hello or acknowledges me.
Yeah.
And he walks the entire way. No one says anything. And then he just jumps. But all it would have taken was someone just to say hello.
Yeah.
Or hold a door open. That's all it would have taken, because you never know what's going on in someone's head.
You don't. You really don't. Especially now, because people are very personal now, and a lot of people don't share. And like, why go around and be a dick to people? It's so easy to just be kind.
Why would you be mean?
Why?
I'm
not gonna be like, I'm literally Mother Teresa, but
no one is.
I mean, no one is.
I guess she is.
But like, I feel like there's so many strangers that like we just walk past and we don't say hi. And why?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. What? Why? I guess bullying really comes from insecurities in yourself.
Yeah. Insecurity manifests itself in so many different ways.
How?
Like, I feel like a lot of people talk about the victim of bullying, but honestly, I don't want to say like the more interesting part, but like from a psychological standpoint, the more interesting person to evaluate is the bully. Mm-hmm. The person who's doing the bullying, that's the one that's causing pain on other people. Obviously they're hurting the victim, but that's the one that's in so much pain. Yeah. And when you look into their lives, it's so eye-opening to see like the things that people go through and then how that manifests itself. Like, there's evil people in the world that weren't born evil. They weren't. They were turned that way based off of bad shit that happened to them. Obviously, arguably, there are people who are born evil.
Yeah.
There's people that maybe can't be saved. But I just feel like there's so many things to be said about, like, when you're really insecure, you take it out on other people.
Yeah. I mean, I did a thesis paper on Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are they so fucked up? Like, why are they such evil people? What the fuck? What the fuck, go? Where did love go?
What happened?
I think this may have died. Let me just turn it back on. Dead air, dead air, dead air. Let's see. Is it charged? Yeah, it's charged. I don't know what turned. I think it's the temperature's too hot.
It's too hot?
Yeah, it is boiling in here. But I think it's fine. If I hear that noise again, I'll
panic.
Yeah, I'll figure something out. There always something goes wrong. Lily, my last one, the audio was fucked up. I'm hoping the audio's not bad on this.
Yeah.
But I looked at Mussolini, Stalin, and Hitler. I'm like, why are they so fucked up?
Yeah.
And I had a hunch, and it was in their past. So I looked at their childhoods. And what I found was every single one of them was abused by their parents.
Yep.
Stalin had terrible acne, like acne scars everywhere. He literally used the first Photoshop, so in pictures you wouldn't see his scarring.
Yeah.
Hitler was he wanted to be an artist. He was rejected from art school. Everyone made fun of him. Like, you could see it throughout each person that their childhoods shaped them into the monsters that they were.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
I feel like that really ties back to, like, kids are resilient. Kids are more resilient than we know, but also kids are smart as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you think that they don't pick up on things and they aren't affected by, like, adult issues. They are. Like, it is so easy. I mean, there's so many studies done, even not on, like, 4 and 5-year-olds, but on, like, 11, 12-month-olds that are basically not even a year old. They can pick up on emotional changes, like, instantly.
Really?
And, like, reading facial expressions is something that, like, you are instinctively born knowing how to do. Obviously that changes over time, and if, like, you have autism, sometimes that's harder. You don't understand facial expressions, body language, but there's so much to be said about how your parents and how your childhood affects how you grow up and how you turn into, like, an adult. I think, you can change, you can overcome things, but there's people that don't, and people that don't know how to, and I think having good parents is something that is, like, very important.
Yeah.
Because you can get so fucked up by your parents.
You can. I mean, where are you getting all your knowledge from and all your what's right and what's
like, your
wrong?
self-worth as a child.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, especially.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I took childhood psych, and so we, like, talked a lot about that and a lot about how babies that are neglected, like, secure attachment is, like, one of the number one things you talk about in childhood psych.
What does that mean?
Basically means, like, so they do studies, and they put a baby in a room with, like, their mom, and the baby's like, ah. And then the mom leaves. Naturally, the baby's like, what the fuck, and starts crying. And when the mom comes back in, if the baby stops crying, the baby's like, ah, mom's back.
Yeah.
Securely attached. Fine. Good relationship there. If the baby starts, like, sometimes, like, it's kind of disturbing. Some babies would start, like, hitting themselves.
Oh, jeez.
And, like, that showed signs of, like, neglect or, like, abuse. And then some babies were just, like, super cold to their parents when they came back in, like, you left me.
Yeah.
And even from that age of, like, 10, 11 months old, they knew, or no, I think they were, like, a year old because they could play.
Yeah.
And kind of, like, be by themselves. But even at that age, your relationship and your attachment to your parents has a significant effect on you, because then they studied them, like, long term, and kids that are securely attached to their parents are just more independent and have more self-confidence and have, like, an innate, like, self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that really affects you.
Yeah. So is that something you're born with? Like, why do some kids be securely attached when others are?
It depends on the parent.
Okay.
So if, as a baby, your parents meet your needs. You're hungry, they feed you. You're crying, they pick you up, they take care of you. You realize, okay, when I need someone responds.
Mm.
But if you're neglected, you're crying, no one's coming. It kind of gives a sense of fear and doubt and insecurity in the world. Like, you're just not sure.
Yeah.
And that can be fixed, but then there's, like, the instances of, like, straight neglect and abuse. And as a baby, that just, like, it changes your world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really depends on the parent.
Fucking parents.